Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Poetry and Police. Now, this is not a good morning for me, and I hate to start my mornings on a sad note. But it is always a sad day when I look back on Jamaica and I see the crime problem in Jamaica. I see the indiscipline of most of the Jamaican people. And we see what the Jamaican people lionize, the criminals that Jamaican people lionize, like Vibes Cartel and others. And we see the shambles that our judicial system is in and our crime situation is in. And the disrespect for law and order is rampant in Jamaica nowadays. I notice a whole lot of videos have been popping up with people fighting police over the country, left, right and center, both women and men, even children too. But people, this one hit below the belt. And I am not saying it did not. This has not happened before. But every time something like this happens, especially how it happened then, it pains my heart to my very core. No, the Jamaica Constabulary Force right now, we are not in mourning, but we are sad because of one of our members from the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch has been hospitalized after being struck by a motorist during a traffic stop yesterday, call it Thursday. Now, the allegations are vague, like the motorist was already stopped by the police officer when he decided to grab the police officer after being objected to be recorded by the police body cam. This motorist drove off, hitting the officer and pinning the officer under the vehicle, which ran over the officer's head. People, no, you see how brave these people are nowadays, how violent these people are, that a policeman cannot even do a traffic stop without his life in imminent danger. And sometimes, when people act like this and then the police fire their guns and people are dead, then people demonstrate and there's a call in the country for justice. Now it goes the other way around, that the policeman is hospitalized and even fear dead. Because once a vehicle run over your head, brother, that's a serious thing. And this is nothing short of attempted murder. What me say, people, attempted murder. This is attempted murder, This motorist allegedly tried to murder the officer, a police officer in uniform with his motor vehicle after being stopped, It's not like him a speed on the highway and the police step out in the middle road like, so you have some police who fool like that. We step out in the middle road and them see a car come 1,000 miles per hour. I remember I was taught at the police academy that if you stop in a car and that car seems that it's not going to stop, take yourself out of its path. Chase, whatever. Try to get the license plate number for actions further. But you don't stand in the way of a moving vehicle if you are in the number one uniform. Even if. But this is a different situation where the officer already stopped this car and obviously this man did not want to be logged or videoed on the policeman's cam. So therefore he decided to kill the police officer with his motor car. And this goes to show the society that Jamaica is becoming. I know the Prime Minister and certain crime heads over the past few weeks have been talking about Jamaica's reduction in crime. And they seem to be celebrating Jamaica's reduction in crime. As far as I'm concerned, Jamaica does not have a reduction in crime and will not have a reduction in crime until we go back to the days where it was at a tolerable level. And it is not at a tolerable level right now. I tell you that, people, by far. Well, let me tell you this, people. When I joined the police department in 1998, I graduated. And I can remember when I was stationed at Huntsby CIB, the CIB was like the ACE department in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The ACE, when I say ACE, the ACE department in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, like everything was placed, all emphasis was placed on the CIB being successful. Because the CIB department is what solved all the crimes in Jamaica. And a matter of fact, not just only solve, because CIB can't just depend on the solving crime matter. We have to go to the preventative measures too. Because when I was a CIB police officer at Huntsby, CIB patrol was one of the most important patrols. Because let me tell you, people, when a CIB patrol goes out on the street, it is 150% more effective than a uniform police, than the uniform patrol. Because uniform patrols, they don't drive around most of the time. You have a few uniform police officers who were a cut above the rest. And since we are talking about cut above the rest, CIB police back in my days was a cut above the rest. Now, where is the CIB police? Below the rest. And this is, people, as small as this might seem, I mean, the civilian eyes will not see this. But any experienced police officer or even experienced detective who has had service in the Jamaica Constabulary Force will look at you and tell you straight to your face, Mr. Prime Minister or Mr. Commissioner, that the failure of the CIB is the failure of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and hence the failure of the Jamaica and failure of the Ministry of National Security in a whole, and failure of the country. Because if the CIB is not at its best, then crime will escalate. And even though you might have some little retardation in crime in some areas, trust me, it is escalating in other areas. So overall, it's not making sense. Now, people, mark what I say that the CIB is being destroyed. And why? Why would a department that had so much effect on crime and violence in Jamaica being destroyed? Nowadays, the CIB is so watered down that you can't even find a good detective at the local CIB. And when I talk about detective, I'm not talking about MIB, I'm not talking about CIB HQ, flying squad, I'm not talking about those areas, Those are specialized areas. What I am talking about, people, and this is what the Commissioner of Police need to emphasize, Commissioner Mr. Blake, this is what you need to emphasize, this is what you need to place emphasis on in terms of clutching a good reduction in crime and violence. That, sir, you have to reignite the local CIB. If you do not reignite the local CIB, then you will not see any drastic reduction in crime in the areas, in the relevant police areas like Kingston 13, 11, those St. Andrew South and Kingston Western. If you do not put emphasis on the CIB, then you will not see any kind of reduction in crime. Because listen, Commissioner, I have said it to you that the CIB was the brainchild of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It was the backbone of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the CIB. Nowadays, you go to the CIB, people in the CIB don't even have knowledge anymore of the profession. They are not properly trained and they are not properly supervised, brethren. I myself personally went to a police station and reported to a detective a crime, and the detective said no crime occurred, when clearly that is CIB 1. I report a simple case in a fraudulent conversion, obtained money by false pretense, where this detective could not even identify. So what I tell you, nobody is placing any more emphasis on the CIB. When I just went to CIB at Huntsby, CIB at Huntsby was the talk of the town. When you were a part of the CIB at Huntsby, you were a part of the elites. You were a part of the elites. You were a part of the chain. You were a part of that belt. You were a part of that gear that kept the Jamaica Constabulary Force grounded. And the CIB was the ground, was the foot, was the belt, was the engine in solving the crimes in Jamaica. But why would the organization remove all interest in the CIB? Stop investing in the CIB. Why? There's no more CIB patrols anymore. I am telling you that. But back in my days, CIB patrol was a must. The CIB had to patrol. We call it inquiries because we search for crimes and we search for crime. We went out to prevent crimes and also to apprehend wanted criminals. That was the CIB. Most of the operations people from the station level came from the CIB. And now that they have implemented some intelligence in most of the stations, that it would have made the CIB even better, coming with the intelligence to the CIB to operate. Commissioner, you need to refocus some of your energy, some of your resources to the local CIB, because if you do not do that, then Jamaica will never get better, and the crime situation in Jamaica will never be controlled. People, let me tell you something about the CIB. You can't be no like a fool police to join CIB back in my days. Like I said, you have to be a cut above the rest. You have to know your fat, and you have to about fighting crime to end up at the CIB back in my days. And when you go to CIB back in my days, when you just start, I want to look at 0.38 they might give you first, and you have to build yourself and gain recognition to be handed a 9mm pistol. You have to prove yourself. Nobody don't need to prove themselves to be at the CIB. The police officers do not need to be a cut above the rest to be at the CIB, because nobody cares about the CIB anymore. Nobody cares about what the CIB does. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what is the mandate of the local CIB anymore. Probably I just report the crimes, because certainly it's not preventing crime and it's not solving any crimes. So what is the job of the local CIB nowadays? When I was at Huntsby, people, when I went in that CIB, we had about 6-7 detective sergeants in there. Teams. And it was a competition which team can clear up the most crime and do the most arrest. That was what Huntsby was about back in the day. And when you join the CIB, a matter of fact, I wouldn't even say join. When you are allowed into the CIB at Huntsby, you had to be a cut above the rest, and somebody has to see something in you that this young man will make a difference in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And when a sergeant put you on his team, is nothing but training, and if you're not making the standards, you would have been kicked out of the CIB. And now I look at the CIB and all me see a waste man. And the reason why for all of these waste men in the CIB is because the CIB is being wasted, the CIB is being watered down, the CIB is not seen as relevant anymore. When I used to work as a CIB police, we had a CIB channel. It was a private channel, wherein if we were carrying out an operation, then only persons who had privy knowledge of the happenings of the operations would have been people on that special channel. So if we are going into a certain area and we give control of our time on the private channel, we are going to look for, say, a guy by Whitfield Avenue or Whitfield Town area. The regular uniform police can't know that, unless we bring them into the loop. The regular uniform police could know that, and that cut out the chances of people calling their friends and say, yo, the man them a come for you, That was the reason for the private CIB channel. And if CIB police were in a shootout, we could transmit to other CIBs and other on the channel and control on the channel without people sending stolen motor vehicle messages and all of these messages and burglary messages and people reporting for duty message all entwining into the whole message, into the whole thing at the same time that we cannot do what we needed to do. The CIB had a private channel, and that is the first thing that they took away from the CIB. They took away the private channel from the CIB, so the CIB was not allowed to work anonymously anymore or to be so effective anymore. They wanted to take away rifles from the CIB officers, from detectives. Detectives are stopped from being patrolling. No detective is supposed to patrol anymore. What next? Well, I guess detectives are not at the local station are not investigating anything anymore, because I don't see any of that going on. CTAC, Flying Squad, those departments cannot run the local stations, cannot run the local areas. You have to have a CIB that runs every division. You have to have a CIB that is proactive. And we do not have proactive CIB anymore in Jamaica. And why is that? Why is the authorities allowing such a disaster in crime, in fighting crime? Mr. Commissioner, I am asking you, sir, that you need to speak to the Minister of National Security on these issues, and we need to build back the CIB. Because in these modern times where there are more technologies available to us, the local CIB is very important in the fight against crime. And the investing in the local CIB should be important in the fight against crime. If you don't rise back the CIB, Commissioner of Police, then you are not going to see a chunk of reduction in crime and violence in any police area whatsoever. Because the regular uniform police just can't do it. Because a patrol, everybody can patrol, but what I'm talking about is patrol with meaning. Patrol with meaning that every patrol goes out, a man is possible to be arrested for a gun, or a man is possible to be arrested, wanted on a warrant. And a murder is prevented. A burglary is prevented. Because that was the job of the CIB. No, what is the job of the CIB in the Jamaica Constabulary Force? I don't even know. You see, the first thing that the Jamaican people need to know are the people in Jamaica who values their civic duty and values where this country is going, is to realize and understand that the powers that be are the very ones that are destroying this country by putting a wedge between departments in the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the people of Jamaica that can actually work for the benefit of the people in Jamaica in terms of solving crimes or preventing crimes. So what is the new commissioner going to do? Is it even on your mandate, Commissioner, to revitalize the CIB, to ensure that the CIB goes back to the glory days of what it was? People will say from time to time, boy, all the good police, them left the force. You see, like criminals, as one dead, one born, as so good police there. As one left, one more come. As one dead, one more come. Are the same thing. It's the same cycle. It not change. What changes is the training. What changes is the value. It's the value of the department. The department of the CIB is reduced to nothing. And as a result of this, crime is going to increase exponentially. And that is why crime has increased exponentially in Jamaica over the past 10 years. Because the devaluing of the CIB started when I was at work. And I got shot from 2008 and have not worked since then, until I was passed out and fit to work. So that tells you that is from the time that they have been destroying the CIB. And from that time forward, our crime problem seems to be increasing at a daily basis because of the absence of the CIB presence on the streets. Reggie, everybody can tell you, viewers and subscribers, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, members, past members and present members of St. Andrew South, Denham Town, and all these places can tell you that the CIB is what played a major role in preventing and decreasing crime in these divisions, these crime-infested divisions. Not the uniform, not MIB, not CTOC. Is the regular local detective. And that is where the government of Jamaica, the Ministry of National Security, has drawn all resources from. So if you draw resources from the area which values most in the fighting of crime, you're not going to see a reduction in crime. And why in the first place would you draw all resources from the most essential department in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, which is the CIB? Why? One would freely say, or one could transparently say that by doing so, then you are supporting the escalation of crime and violence in Jamaica, which I would not put that past any politician, because I do not trust or like politicians. Because none of these politicians in Jamaica cares about crime and violence. Because remember, people, the more crime in our country, the more security is needed. And all of their friends that owns the guardsman and the all of these Quest and all of these big security companies are awarded more contracts based off the crime situation in the country. Every day, people, I go to FLA. Whenever I go to FLA, it pains my soul to see how much Quest security guards are stationed at FLA. How much security guards are, and I can just imagine the amount of money that the FLA is paying to these guards when you could just have district constables there. The question I ask myself, why do we need so much security officers at FLA that at any one time we have more than 100 licensed firearm holders, to include maybe 10, 15, 20 policemen at that place in one time? People waiting outside and people are inside. Who would be so careless or so brave to attack the FLA? Why does the FLA need so much security? You get me, as a people? But then again, that's an argument for itself, because the FLA is privatized, people. The FLA is privatized. The FLA, it would appear that the FLA does not fall under the Ministry of National Security like the PSRA. Because the FLA is privately run. And that is where all the corruption is in Jamaica. That's why we crime now go done. Because that is what they value. They value the FLA. So they put all the resources in FLA because FLA is making money. But nobody's putting any value on the CIB. That was the main machine, the main engine in fighting crime in Jamaica over the years. People, when you look at certain things, the first thing that they do is try get rid of the bad man police mentality out of Jamaica. The fear, for gunmen to fear the bigger Ford and the Leng and the Cowboy and the Hawks and the Blakey them and the kerchief them and the gun to them. Eh? That is what they do, the first thing, this is what they do. They assure gunmen on the street that, no, you don't need to fear them police no more. They don't have no teeth no more. Because we done devalue them already. Once we don't value them, you don't need to value them. You don't need to fear them anymore. Just continue doing the crime. Because crime pays. But who benefits? I always ask that question, who benefits? Trust me. Nothing but our leaders, people. And don't be blind. Because these people are the ones that are eating the food. These people are the ones who are collecting all the money from the proceeds of crime. We have a commissioner in office now who I know means well. But can he do well? Can Commissioner Blake exercises or carry out everything that he wants to do as a commissioner of police? Can he do that? That is the question, people. Can Commissioner Blake actually do what he wants to do as commissioner of police? That are the question, people. Who controls the commissioner of police? Is he another commissioner that is controlled by the Prime Minister or by the Minister of National Security? Will we ever see the CIB in Jamaica reclaim its glory in the fight against crime? Will we ever see the CIB at the local stations on the lead again, on the front page again? Will we ever see the CIB in the Jamaica Constabulary Force as the machine, the engine that runs the Jamaica Constabulary Force in terms of preventing and clearing up crimes? Will we ever see the CIB go back to the glory that it was before, especially in these times when we have so much technologies that can make our jobs way easier? But I've said it. So I will end this by saying to the family of that policeman who was massacred, who was hit by this motorist and pushed underneath his car, who, was raveled by this man. I must say, my heart felt, with everything goes out to you. And I hope this police officer pull through. If he needs blood or anything, let us know. I hope this police officer pull through, and I hope this man is charged for attempted murder. Right? Because Jamaica is becoming more indisciplined as the day goes by. There is no respect for law and order in Jamaica anymore. Even our females are getting out of control. Nowadays you're seeing more females even getting into it with police officers. Nobody respect police officers anymore. Even when you have a big old M16 rifle in your hand, people still attack you. Because they must say you can't shoot them. Because see, the days of no nonsense police is over. The days where some real police out the road that say, oh, don't play with me. Police who does their job without even, who don't care about any repercussions. You understand? Certain type of police is not supported in the Jamaica Constabulary Force anymore. And when I say certain kind of police, I'm not talk about the criminal police. I talk about good police. Good police who know how to operate as a police, and good police who know their jobs. That is the type of police I'm talking. Good police who are not corrupted and know their jobs and will do their job by any means necessary. Because me, if I come to arrest you, you are going to station, even if I have to drag you to the police station. Even if I have to hold you by your pants foot. That is what I have done before. Don't play with me when I come to arrest you. And how dare you even try to prevent me from arrest somebody? Or try to take away my prisoner from me. You will never cross me like that. It will never be an easy day for you. I'm telling you that as a policeman. And I've seen this happening from day to day in Jamaica, that prisoners are being taken away from police officers, that people are fighting Jamaican police officers for prisoners. What is being done? These police them come like as some dolly thing going and some joking, and paper police are in Jamaica Constabulary Force now. And that you see the people of Jamaica think we are paper police and we are soft police and that we are idiot police, and that's why they must step to it so much. That's why they must step to it so much. There's an old saying that Duppy know who he frightened. Who forget that? Duppy know who he frightened. Commissioner, please. Sit at your drawing board again. Get back the CIB online. Invest in the CIB. Because trust me, Commissioner, that is the only way that you can decrease the crime to a certain tolerable level in Jamaica, by putting back the CIB, pan them up, bulking up the CIB with men.